Hello there. All right. The UFO hearing was today. I didn't watch any of it. Hope it went well. Whitewashing everything, so good job on that. No surprise there. They should have had a big thing. Should have had Big Bird show up. That would probably be more interesting than what we have. Somebody's messing with the background. She's out of camera, but she's over there. I just put it back up. It's my second time putting the background back up. They're back at it again. Military black ops operations. So obviously this whole UFO thing is a black ops situation. So does this lead to a fake alien invasion? I don't think they know what they're going to do with it at this time. So obviously it's not headline news or anything like that. So there's two ways they can go with it. With that, they can. What'd you do? Okay, anyway. Stop. There. Go that way. Yeah. I'm not sure what she's trying to do. Take the other side down. No. Anyway. Where is I going with all that? Yeah, relax over there. You're doing good. Yeah, they can do blame it on a country or have the fake alien invasion. I don't think they've decided yet. They'll probably go for the fake alien invasion, or they might just so-called unknown phenomenon and just start screwing around with this. So it's hard to say. It might be another 60 years before they do anything about this. So they might be talking about it now, but just it doesn't feel like they know what they're doing. Obviously you can't tap into everything, but obviously some people feel like they got it all figured out, and more power to you on that with no proof. But of course, I don't have any proof either, but it doesn't feel like they have an agenda as of yet. What to do with all this? It's not going to be friendly, whatever they're doing. She's chasing her tail. Too bad you can't get that on camera. Fritzy's chasing her tail. Seems to be the big thing right now. Yeah, so the UFO hearing was pretty much a whitewash overall, just nothing. I guess they had some sites about Egypt, but I couldn't find where. I couldn't find it again. Some of the desert areas they saw. I don't think it really matters. Well, that was the other thing. Some of these sightings would have UFO sightings where the military sees it. There are black sites there. There's probably some kind of UFO activity that's going on underground or something like that in some of those places. So, not that the public military is aware of it, more of the shadow military is aware of it. So that's the thing about some that say there's no secret space program, but how would you know? You're part of the black operations that are going on here, because it's really, some areas that some people just don't want to tap into. Yeah, that's a lot of the black ops stuff is protected psychically, even connected through remote viewers, or I would say blocking it to a certain level so they can leak information through remote viewing to give you kind of like a false pretense. There's really no way to really know what the hell is going on. At least, I mean, it gets happened to a certain level, but there's no way to prove anything. So it doesn't mean that you're tapping into the wrong thing, or you just can't always see what's going on a full level. So, yeah, watch it. So, what? Okay. Yeah, Fritzy's getting noisy in the background. All right, is Avatar comment price sessions? You have this schedule. You have shop here. I just entered May. For here, same situation here. webinar tomorrow. Webinar is Saturday. I forgot to send out the email on that. Social networking behind the scenes. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it's webinar Friday or Saturday, whenever Saturday is. So, all right. Let's see. Interesting. I don't know if this is they talked about this on the thing today. Let's go back here. I'm feeling was it Burma? Yeah, Burma, no, the country Burma. Whatever they're calling Burma these days. I don't know if they have UFOs. Yeah, mysterious unidentified object crashes, and this is in Burma. Burma aliens. Yeah, I felt it's just a Burma energy all of a sudden. And I'm not a person that connects to Burma very often, wherever for that matter. Other than that, this isn't going to say anything. But either way, yeah. Which makes sense. It's out in the middle of nowhere, basically. Yeah, that really makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I've looked at this before in the past, but I can't remember everything. Yeah, it looks like a nice place to go to. But Burma, yeah, it feels like just the energies of UFO activity is pretty heavy around here. Obviously, there's black sites around in those areas, and of course, it's out. When you go out in the jungles where there's nothing, that's where a lot of the stuff's going on. So, at least the underground stuff, and who knows what's going on. There's no way to really know. Drug trafficking, human trafficking, alien trafficking, whatever it is, Martian trafficking, whatever they can come up with. But that's one of the places I'm picking up now. Obviously, there's other places too, especially Russia. What's going on at Russia? Russia. I think Russia's going to be renewed eventually. Now, when? The new Russia, but not yet. I guess you're kind of seeing it now. All right. We'll get started. The background's a little bit off kilter, thanks to Fritzy. So Priscilla did it, and Fritzy did it. I put it back up, and Fritzy took it down. So anyway, okay, all right. We're connected to Palladian energies. Feels like they're around, and maybe some Andromedan frequencies. We'll see. Okay, all right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings, rather Palladians, blessings. Yes, there's no surprises actually with what's going on. So they did reveal some things that we can't go into. Locations where some of these sightings are being done. Obviously, we can't go into details. Yes, there was a lot said behind closed doors. With the real meetings were behind closed doors, so you saw the public version of it. There's also there are hearings that are not made public, and that's where the real meat is. You could, as you world says, but they don't advertise it. Sometimes they do record it, but they don't go into it. It's not a lot of light. I mean, they don't put in the main subject matter. So every now and then they'll bring it up, like unidentified flying objects, and they'll say something they probably shouldn't have said, but it's not planned. Like a meeting is not planned or anything like that. It just sort of comes up in the subject, in conversation in some of their meetings. Not that you need to watch all the Congress meetings or anything like that. You have to be bored to death. But this is a version of disclosure. This is testing the waters once again to see where people are at this time. To see how many are actually caring. And most of the population obviously looks the other way. There's a major fear energy from the human population. Do they really want to know? It's better. They feel better not knowing, especially when what you see in the movies becomes part of real life, like kangaroo beings and things of that owl beings and things of that kind. When your Earth becomes very animated. So obviously humans are not ready for that, but many of you are tapping into the frequencies of the unknown and bringing those energies here into the public. Slowly through yourself, through your own frequency. You don't necessarily have to speak your mind. You just put out the vibrations that you're not putting up with this world's, the mindset. But realize there is a war going on, especially in your spirit world. The spirit world has a lot of healing to do. Also, your world has a lot to heal, but also the astral world has a lot to heal. And even if you did heal your planet, the astral world still has to be healed. So, and that's what many of you are doing, healing in the astral realms. You're also, of course, healing a lot of your lifetimes here, especially those of you who've been through starvation lifetimes, through a lot of, some of you just had starvation lifetimes, and you're just kind of giving that, filling your body with energy so you can just heal the past so you can go into the future at a wider frequency. So basically the war isn't over yet. Far from it. Anybody that says the war is coming to an end, all that, obviously, you might want to recheck that energy there. Well, they're saying the war is over when the war, it has not really begun, at least on a galactic level, for you to, yes, they're bringing up UFO knowledge here, but the next war really is for many of you to speak out more and for the public to feel that pain of UFO knowledge out in your regular streets, in your everyday life. Obviously, now is not the time, well, for some, but basically the next great awakening is more alien knowledge being spoken about. Not that you have to be obsessed over it, but just spiritual vibrations overall. It's just, instead of hiding it all the time, the next phase is making the unknown known. And many here do not want to hear it. Not that you're trying to be religious about it, you're just being real and being yourself, which many do with their tattoos. Instead of saying it verbally, they just make a tattoo. Nothing wrong with that. But, sometimes the image says a lot more than any words could ever say. So, doesn't mean y'all have to go out and get tattoos. But if you want to, go right ahead. Sacred geometry, whatever it is, that sacred geometry, obviously you'll see that is bizarre, but the alien frequencies obviously are here, but it's just working through your own energy to bring into the public. It doesn't mean you have, once again, you don't have to preach all of this. Just be yourself. Be you, as many as you say it. And others you'll see how many step away from all of this. It's like, what kind of agendas does humanity have? They're not wanting, you can't be yourself around anyone. So what are they, holding back on? What are they hiding? Especially many are hiding a lot of violence towards others, a lot of negativity towards others. They're not aware of it, but that's why you're bringing your spiritual vibration through to heal those energies, to heal the unknown, the unseen. So they don't have to have violence here so much anymore. The more that you bring out the hidden, the more that your world heals into a higher frequency, as you know. So it's only a time and obviously you don't want to put yourself in a situation that you don't want to be, but you also have to be yourself too. So, which may have been doing for thousands of years. You're going to continue to do it, as you know. You should know. So, obviously, a lot of senators will give you this, and this is no surprise. Many know it's a dog and pony show. They know they're holding back a lot. So doesn't mean that they went too deep in the secret hearings afterwards. On some questions, yes. But were they talking about Pleiadians and Arcturians? And no, but they were going more into the intelligence agencies that has more details of who, what, serial numbers of people, military related, talk to other military people about it, things of that kind. So, blessings. Grease you. We are the Andromedans. Um, as you know, much of your military is reptilian in design. Martian, a Martian soul is possessing your military consciousness to keep you from yourselves. Um, because there's a war for the soul to keep you from understanding your soul, basically to leave your body, come back into your body. There is a kind of a loss. Yeah, you know, in society, they're not exactly talking about out of body experiences as they could. So basically, the human has been taught to yes be shut down, and you're here to retool it. So many of you are, you could say, mechanics, spiritual mechanics, making it easier for humanity to drive smoother, faster, better. The cars are being upgraded, so can humanity, and that's what many of you are, spiritual, human mechanics. You might be more, that's probably a better word for that, but I think you understand. And you're working with the human frequency. Doesn't mean you have to have one-on-one with a human and redo repairs. You're doing it with the human frequency in general. Not to be so scared. Well, it's been taught so much of, like you can't walk into chew gum. Well, it has a kind of mentality of like that. Not everybody's like that. But it has a human mentality of basically keeping you shut down, at least the majority, due to demonic possessions by some humans. Now, yes, demonic realms can be better understood. They're at all of your local bars. You can talk to a demonic being there. Many of them are there moving around. Doesn't mean they're obviously possessing humans on a daily basis, but there are demonic beings that live there. I mean, there's a dark portal why the bar was even built there to begin with. So, yeah, there's a lot of, you can say soul busting or demonic busting that would be done here eventually, clearing out those dark sites that are their black sites. The military, obviously, a lot of reptilian beings, obviously not making themselves known to you, but do make themselves known to the military, certain military officials. And I imagine you can feel that vibration of a reptilian being just appears to you. It's like, it's a little bit discomforting. But a lot of it is connected to the Vatican. The Vatican rule over the earth, which gave a blessing to all these military facilities to be built. So basically, a lot of these military, sites are Vatican related, and not entirely, but they've been given, there's a religious energy there. As some of you can probably, it's not exactly a Vatican, but it does have, it gave the go ahead. Let's put it that way. And notice the Vatican is still there, and so on. I'm not going to go into details of that. Well, basically, the Vatican's running your world, as you can see. Yeah, the Israel plays a role in it. There's many places that do play a role, but Vatican basically is where all the reptilians are. Well, a good amount of them are. Obviously, they have influence over the Queen. I believe the Queen is very terrified of knowing what's really here. Maybe about herself, she's a little bit scared. She's heard all the rumors, but it's like, I don't think I want to know about that. There's probably other things she is not. Yeah, we're not going to go into those details. But the military energy, realize they do have a psychic connection, as many of you know. So basically, to go into a whole nother level, some of you can talk to the military facilities, remote viewing, or just you're using your tapping in energy of, a lot of the military bases actually are underground, obviously. Obviously, proving it, a lot of the big cities, New York is one of them. New York has at least 12 military cities underground. Not all of them are huge, but one of them is around the Empire State Building. That doesn't mean it's always in your dimension either. So there is a possible timelines for an alien invasion. New York is obviously always going to be a target. Washington, D.C. to a certain level. And that most likely means that there is an agenda part of it. If your media is covering it, is most likely an agenda. Now, if you have like flickering lights and the alien beings are happy, that's different. Like the Phoenix light, that's different. But if you actually have an alien being flowing around like in a city like New York City, and the media is covering it, there's something going on with that. That's not normal. Because normally the media could care less. So there's obviously an agenda connected to that, just to give you a little bit of insight of how they're doing things right now. So, blessings. Greetings to you. We are the felines from Lyra. Blessings. We're not yet. We're not normally spoken to by your collective. Normally, we're not always trusted either. But your military, are they doing a fake alien invasion? Not on our watch. They are. The public government is just lost, really. It'll probably be at least 10 years or more before they figure out what they're going to do with all of this. Your shadow government is just once. The shadow government has to clear some of its karma. It has to make itself know of what. It has to disclose something. Even if it makes no sense in your reality. The shadow government's been playing with this technology for a long time. Here's a bunch of little flying ships around. Here's a couple of places here and there. And that's it. They feel like, oh, look, we did our part. Humanity doesn't care. Let's move on. So we won't really expect anything to happen from this, at least for another 10 years. It might be sooner, but unlikely. This is a slow burn. And many of you are expecting a fake invasion. Obviously, we don't think you'll get one. But obviously, the vibrations are understood, but not likely to occur. Your military is a little bit terrified that they might be replaced by artificial intelligence, actually. Your world's not quite there yet, but they do feel like a robotic military is in your future. And again, if you look deep into this, it makes sense, especially the drone technologies. If they can use drones to run, airships, why can't they use drones for people on the ground? So that's the next phase what your world's going to go into. More robotics, slowly, extremely slow. Obviously, many are connected to the secret space programs and all that. You've seen all the drones and all. But here it's trickling into this reality. Obviously, the souls here are still healing themselves. Yes, from past wars. Some of you are still healing from genocidal timelines. Genocide timelines that are not easy to heal. So basically, because they're not having genocide currently, there are some places that are still doing it, but for the most part, it's not a worldwide phenomenon as it once was. So you're closing out timelines that you might not be aware of. You're clearing out the old war lifetimes. Not everything is going to be cleared out completely, especially because of Africa. Africa is basically, the majority of it is kind of like a black site. The government, India and South America also to a certain level. There are places there where there's black operations going on, or covert operations all the time, which you would never ever hear about. Well, if you tap into those frequencies, they can't hide forever. As you up your frequency level, well, things will trickle out into your public. It's like, you know what? I think I had something to do with that. A CIA leak or whatever it might be. So this is deeper. You're going deeper into your consciousness, where others are trying to figure out funds and relationships, and that's fine. But there's a deeper level of basically healing the corruption on their planet, which is not as easy as it sounds. It can be done, but are you willing to see the corruption yourself? Doesn't mean you have to see it physically, but on an astral level, on a spiritual level. Some can see it, but have you truly dived into it? It does help heal it, but it's only for those that are ready for it, of course. No, it's not for everyone. You do what you feel is best. Just live your life, do what you need to do, concentrate on the for funds or for abundance and relationships, man. Wanting the relationship energy. Interesting about relationships. many that had previous lifetimes with positive relationships, and in this lifetime don't have any relationship. They're remembering that past. They're trying to manifest the past life, but that's not always going to happen, even if it is a new person for your current life. Because having this type of life is very different. Because many of you are becoming more spiritually aware, and you're not your average human at this time. You might feel it's inhuman because you're not living as what you used to. But sometimes not being part of the human element helps you think more clearly, do more spiritual development. Yes, it's a spiritual war is happening now, as you can see. Doesn't mean it has to go on forever, but there is a war happening now, as many of you know. And many are falling for a lot of the manipulations because they still have darkness within themselves. And healing that darkness within themselves isn't easy, so they connect to someone that has the same darkness. And slowly they might heal it, but many are not ready for the higher frequencies, as you can see. There's a great deal that are, but still there's many that are not, as you can see. This is